Yeah, this is I'm gonna get straight into this. I ain't gonna be on here long. But as far as with Lamont Roach right now, I don't know how this guy can go out there and perform the way he did against Tank, and all of a sudden he getting a whole bunch of hate. That's crazy to me. Because right now they got people trying to explain to him why he should feel like he lost, and definitely not surprised, but it just shows that it's a lot of stuff going on right now. But this is gonna hurt the future, man. I'm gonna be real with you. But people gotta explain this though. And what I'm seeing right now, like I've been warning people for years, man. Like I said, I can only say it as much as I can, but yeah, man, a lot of guys they definitely gonna realize that a lot of these fighters is not invincible. You can get in the ring and anybody can lose. I think they gotta realize that eventually. But Lamont Roach came out and was speaking on the situation with people saying that he was going to sue. Here we go again. These are the same people with the same narratives. Talking about somebody gonna sue. That's why I spoke on this yesterday when I was talking about people talking about Devin Haney to getting the video taken down off YouTube, because now they try to push a narrative where, oh, well, Lamont Roach trying to sue and everything else. And come on, man. You got reporters putting out fake news, man. You got reporters literally putting out fake news right now, talking about Lamont Roach trying to get a rematch. I mean, not a rematch, but he trying to sue in court and all that other stuff. And he's just one of the few boxers who actually call out this fake news. He's been calling out a lot of fake boxing reporters lately. Definitely like the energy he's pushing, because nobody was sitting up here waiting on to compliment. Man, I was on here all day yesterday. This ain't do this at all. Man, I was on here all day yesterday. This ain't do this at all. They talking about reconnecting and everything. Yeah, they be trying to find ways to boot people off. Yeah, they be trying to find ways to boot people off. Yeah, if you come in, hit the like. Yeah, if you come in, hit the like button. Whoever want to hear this, but yeah, Lamont Roach, man, he just off or something, some ish, or he had an off night. That is just different in there with me. I told y'all from the start, just because dang, I forgot to blank that part out. But he said just because I didn't get the other part. Everyone else feel like, just because I feel like I won, everybody else too. Y'all acting like I said he was easy work or something. Yeah, they always feel like somebody says that Tank was easy work. Like, that's what I'm saying. They gonna act like that regardless. And what's crazy is Roach was saying leading up to the fight, man, Tank fans is doing too much. Doing way too much. And I've been hearing that lately. A lot of boxers, they have been saying, not just Lamont Roach, they've been saying, hey man, his fans doing way too much when it comes to certain matchups coming up and certain opponents. Frank Martin had that same situation when fans was talking about he was ducking. Shakur Stevenson. That's what I knew then. Okay, these people they ain't got their head screwed on the right way, because you going out your way to celebrate somebody you just said. Oh yeah, they just be doing it in my connection. Now I be seeing that now. I used to think they was me doing that, but nah, they be doing that in my connection. But I used to think like, maybe I'm just over exaggerating, but no, not really. I see the same kind of issues when it comes to this Lamont Roach situation. There's no reason he should be even explaining anything. That's what I'm saying. Like, what is this Lamont Roach situation is going to show you? What is the reason for a guy having a close fight with Tank Davis? How is that going to benefit him? in his career. Like, why is Lamont Roach receiving negativity more now than he did before the fight? And he had a better fight. Not from everybody, like he said on here. You know, a lot of people feel like he won the fight. I know most boxers right now feel like Lamont Roach won the fight. I think a lot of people ignore that, but most boxers actually pick Lamont Roach to actually say that he won the fight. Pitbull, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Terrence Crawford, all the trainers, Paulie Malignaggi. You got basically all the boxing experts that feel like Lamont Roach won that fight. And it's funny because, you know, I heard people saying, oh, well, Ryan, that's messed up that Ryan Garcia said that Tank lost the fight and that boxing needs integrity. This man said they need to have integrity in boxing. Ryan Garcia said that about Tank Davis's situation with Lamont Roach. He said they need to change that into a knockdown. You cannot make this up. The same guy who had issues with New York State Athletic Commission last year is saying that the New York State Athletic Commission this year should do their job and basically, you know, straighten out this Tank Davis situation. That was a knockdown. He lost. So Ryan Garcia thinks he's lost. He lost. Most boxers think he lost. And I hope he wasn't thinking that the Ryan Garcia fans was gonna sit up here and take up for him. Nah, they never liked him. They don't care that Tank Davis made Ryan Garcia quit. That all of a sudden he needs help. That he's not getting it from Ryan Garcia. It's kind of odd, man. Very odd. That is a very odd situation. Not surprised, though. Definitely not surprised. I'm definitely not surprised. These dudes ain't real supporters like that. And they showing you right now. Hey, if you have a close decision, you have a knockdown that looks like a knockdown, even though you took up for Ryan when he was caught cheating, his fans, or he don't care about that. Your loyalty, hey, it should have been with, hey, I don't know if people know it or not, but Tank might need to get educated in that department. I know Lamont Roach was on the right side of that. He called him a cheater. So, you know, the rest of these guys, hey, what's crazy is Ryan Garcia thinks the guy that called him a cheater and said that he was cheating and it was bad for boxing, he thinks that he beat Tank Davis. And the guy who took up for Ryan Garcia's and said get snack out of boxing, he's the one that Ryan Garcia said that lost the fight. It should be ruled a knockdown and a loss. It's crazy how the world goes, don't it? Crazy how the world goes. It is crazy. Tank let Ryan Garcia sit up here and say he lost? That would have been that's the first tweet I'm looking for. So you let a dude who you stopped in the 7th round troll you? And y'all think I'm tripping when I say, okay. People thought I was talking about when he got more power as far as anything else, but you know, a guy like Tank should be fighting in Times Square. But Ryan Garcia is right now. I see the writing on the wall. I ain't stupid. Yeah. Because they always think, that's the crazy part too, man. They always think that, that's crazy. I'm still laughing at it. It's not really funny. It is funny. It kind of is. Especially when you warn somebody like, hey man, don't trust that guy. But when you got Ryan out here saying, nah, this dude lost. It's funny to me. Definitely funny to me because you got a lot of fans that saying that Tank won. You got some boxers here or there. But as far as the whole landscape, nah, people like he lost. He lost. You can't even explain that right now. And the only reason I'm bringing this up right now is because Lamont Roach the only reason I'm bringing this up right now because Lamont Roach is getting trolled and just not trolled really, but you still, even me, I'm still seeing responses from people talking about like he wasn't, to be honest with you. Yeah, like he wasn't doing nothing in the ring. And the man performed at a high level the whole time. Yeah, they always messing with my connection on here. They don't never want a real one to win. But I just like that situation. The man got to explain about the knockdown. It's a bad look for boxing. I don't know if people realize that, but explaining about a knockdown is disgusting. That's why Turkey Al Sheep brought Dana White in right now. Said, look, go ahead, Dana White, start your boxing league. This is the perfect time to set your boxing league up. Let's go ahead and set that up because these dudes arguing about knockdowns. So let's go ahead and bring Dana White in. So I ain't got to sit up here and watch over these boxers the whole time. I can still let these promoters do what they do. Because everybody think that I'm just a promoter now, right now. Nah, not really. I'm just a facilitator. That's all Turkey Al Sheep doing. He just facilitating right now. Trust me, he gonna definitely want to have Roach on the card in the future with his performance. He definitely ain't gonna have that referee with that was in that fight. Roach said, I told y'all from the start, just because I feel like I won, y'all acting like I said he was easy work or something. The knockdown gives me a unanimous decision. But the sad part about it is Roach, they don't know how to score fights, bro. No matter how good you do, they don't know how to score fights. I heard one guy talking about some, man, y'all think Roach just won just off the jabs? Tank wasn't even throwing jabs like that. Stupid. The guy who said that is an idiot. A stupid idiot. That had to be the dumbest thing I ever seen. And the guy was black. Embarrassing. Sitting up here talking about some, man, y'all think that Roach won the fight just off jabs? These dudes in here thinking it's Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. They in there looking for power punches the whole time. Well, if I don't hear the punch, if it ain't loud, then I don't think it was really effective. That's why I'm pulling up pictures like this I got right here. Because people act like they ain't see Roach land no shots. We would have known if Tank was walking down Roach. We done seen Tank walk down plenty of guys. Tank wasn't walking down Roach. He didn't want those type of problems. He lost that part of the fight right there. Coming into the fight, everybody talking about how he gonna walk him down and knock him out in a couple of rounds. That didn't happen. Now everybody talking about, oh, well, he didn't get the knockdown, so y'all think he lost. Most boxers, y'all think that don't get the knockdown, you think he lost. You think 99% of fans right now think that Bitterville lost every fight that he had go 12 rounds. What are you dudes talking about, man? Y'all don't know that y'all biased? Then you got reporters out here putting out that Lamont Roach trying to sue somebody. oh, he's thinking about suing, and I don't like boxers who sue and everything else. Dude didn't even say he was gonna sue nobody. But he's confirming, Lamont Roach is confirming right now that reporters put out fake news. Now, the same reporter won't put out the news that he said it wasn't a knockdown, everything else. These dudes is biased. You got reporters really going out of their way for these interviews with Tank Davis, but at the same time, your integrity is on the line. That's what I don't understand. There's still gonna be a next generation of boxers. They're gonna be like, oh, that dude thought Roach lost the fight. And what's crazy is you got more people taking up for Ryan Garcia than Tank Davis. I thought Tank Davis was the face of boxing. Why you got more people that's taking up for a cheater than you do a guy taking up for a guy who really hasn't failed anything in the sport? You know, Tank talk his little trash, but he ain't failed no test or nothing like that. The first thing he did was really the knee situation. It's not really that big of a deal. Whether if I like Tank or don't like him, it's not really a big deal to me. Even people that say they don't like Tank, it's not really that big of a deal. The big deal is that people are not paying attention to it and acting like it happened. That's when we start to realize now, when everybody's starting to understand what I've been saying. We got fake fans out here and people that don't care about the sport of boxing. They hurting the sport of boxing. Because now you got kids at home that's trying to understand the damn sport, trying to figure out how boxing actually works. Because, you know, kids like us used to sit down. I mean, kids these days like us that used to sit down and watch Mike Tyson had to figure out what was going on during those kind of fights. Because there wasn't a lot of fights just being shown on TV all the time. Especially big time fights where everybody just gathering around. So as a kid, so what people don't realize is millions of kids are actually trying to figure out how to score these fights while they're watching these. So when you have a whole bunch of adults that's liars, like I told you, people that's ready to go to hell for boxing, this is what goes on. Bro, that's terrible, dog. When somebody is ready to lie and, you know, spend eternity in fire over some boxing, it's getting a little weird. Just being real. Anybody who don't understand that, you can't even stand in the same room as me if you don't understand that. Like, how many fighters we got thrown under the bus to make the big time fighters look good? I'm talking about the list of excuses that for Roach, saying that Roach was that he lost is insane. Then what's crazy is if y'all saying that Tank had an off night and he was off or something like that, mean he lost, bruh. What that mean? Boxers always have off nights. What you're realizing right now is the people who complain about guys being undefeated, they the ones worried about somebody not being undefeated right now. That's why right now the only people who are worried about if Devin Haney is undefeated or if he has a loss is people that don't support him. You don't see nobody running around trying to figure out how many losses Tyson Fury got or Anthony Joshua. You don't see nobody trying to break up Ryan Garcia's loss. That's never talked about. So people feel like, well, Roach, you didn't lose a Tank. You did last 12 rounds, so, you know, you deserve to draw. So we thought you'd be happy with that. Oh, we thought the fans would be happy that you lasted 12 rounds. Man, this man's life, man. Ain't nobody playing around with their life. You play with your life. You don't play around with my life. Then this is gonna show right here. These reporters that was coming out talking about all that Ryan Garcia stuff. I told y'all, you only got 1 or 2 guys that's taking up for Tank. But the rest of them, they ain't ride for Tank. And Tank, yeah, he didn't he had the knockdown situation, but he wasn't caught on PEDs. You got people that support. That's why I said Tank is he is the biggest loser in this situation. He can have a win. He can have a knockout win on his resume over Roach. This reaction right here, in the next fight, he can go knock out Roach in the first round. This reaction right here explains everything I say. Trust me, I observe my environment very well. My surroundings. I know what kind of people come around. I'm an energy person. Hey, if I don't see nobody in the chat, I can't see the chat right now. I appreciate everybody in the chat coming through. I can't see the chat right now. I don't know why this load up that way. I might come on later. I was just gonna come on for an hour. It's a lot of news coming out right now. But I think I'm gonna come on for an hour later on. I was just doing a little hour right now. But yeah, I can't see the chat, so if I'm not responding to nobody, that's why. My bad, y'all. But appreciate everybody for coming through, hitting the like button, all that stuff. But this is a big story, not because it's Tank or nothing like that. This doesn't happen in boxing. This doesn't happen. And like I said, going back to the important part, you have little kids right now that want to find joy in boxing, and they want to find interest and get into the sport. They don't want to hear about a whole bunch of old people arguing about if a fight was a knockdown for 2, 3, 4 weeks. This is embarrassing. I don't know if everybody knows that. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing for America right now. This is, as far as being an American boxing fan, especially with 2 black guys in the ring, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. It really is. It's embarrassing. The way they dragging this situation out, it's embarrassing. Somebody's going to end up being embarrassed because they dragging out this whole situation. And you got people trying to pick up narrative so they can try to make Lamont Roach look bad. And that reporter's a clown. And the guys that support that, they clowns too, because people was hitting the like on that stuff. It's for some reason, I'm gonna tell you what's weird about a lot of racist stuff. For some reason, when a black man uses the law, as far as lawsuits, calling the police, for some reason we a punk. Everybody else that's white or whatever, gray, yellow, green, they get to go ahead and call the police, put up lawsuits and everything. So you literally got people out here like, man, why y'all ain't killing yourselves over this? And I ain't finna say unalive no more, because I ain't with all that. I don't care. They already censored your boy anyways. So you literally got people out here that don't really support fighters unless they give them interviews. But then when they go do their own thing and worrying about their own business, you got reporters out here like, man, why y'all ain't out here committing crime on each other? Why would you go to court? That just shows you what people think of you. Then people say, oh, I've never seen a boxer go to court and whatever for battery. That was a lie. And I think that will be exposed soon. There's been plenty of boxers who have went to court over battery. So you have a lot of people who's lying. Like I said, they are hurting the sport of boxing. You got the guys that have been in boxing 30, 40 years that's sitting around here lying about the sport so they can sell a couple of tickets. So they putting one fighter over millions of other fighters. You got millions of boxers out here. This ain't the only country with somebody trying to make it. You got guys in the basement right now hitting a heavy bag or jump roping or something, trying to figure out how to get to the next level. And you got people out here that's they in charge of fights that's making millions of dollars, billions. And we arguing about a knockdown. And people tell me, oh, why do you think the American boxer is falling off? This is why. This is why. Got way too much talent to be out here picking and choosing who you want to push it to the next level, the next line or whatever. But then you go out of your way to defend a cheater. This sport is directly race. It's not a sport based off talent no more. This sport is directly based off race. I think Ryan Garcia and Teofimo showed that yesterday. This sport is directly based off race. And then, you know, the other stuff that goes into it as well, politics. But it's directly that though. Everybody, I'm telling you, everybody fit into a stereotype when it comes to boxing. Why everybody got to stereotype themselves? And that's what's going on right now. And I hope this is a learning lesson for Tank. Man, them folks don't love you. You supporting Ryan Garcia did nothing for you last year. Nothing. The only people that give you credit for supporting Ryan Garcia last year is people that was already supporting you. The people who don't like you, they don't give you credit for that. They ain't taking up for you. You can wear Mexican colors a million. You can wear the Mexican color flag colors 1,000,000 times in the ring. They don't support you. You do the same thing Canelo does. They gonna go at you. They ain't gonna go at Canelo. He better figure out who he is, and that's on some real shit. He better figure out who he is. He better figure out what he is. Them people don't love you, dog. They don't love you. They love when you throw your own people under the bus, but they don't love you. They do not love you. They booed you 2 seconds after you gave a reason why you had an issue. 2 seconds. After you gave an issue, they said, boo, we came to see you knock out somebody. We came to see you act like an animal. You went there boxing and trying to be clean and everything else. Nah, we ain't come to see that. We came to see you beat your chest and get on top of the ropes and do backflips. We're going to give you more criticism for going 12 rounds with Lamont Roach and possibly getting dropped than we is for Ryan Garcia quitting against you, because we don't respect you. You still is a prodigy of Mayweather, and that's how they look at you. These dudes feel like, man, if I kiss these other guys but enough, they people gonna support me as well. And that's why your pay-per-view numbers is the same as they look before you got in the ring with old boy. They don't support you, dog. I'm wasting my time explaining that right now. Back to Lamont Roach. Back to Lamont Roach. Dudes got too many OGs around them for me to even be explaining anything. And this right here just don't hurt Lamont Roach or anything. This hurts future fighters. It's young guys right now that got a lot of talent. So you tell me because they don't sell tickets the way somebody else does, that they might have to go back to working a 9 to 5? Like Josh Padley was doing before that last fight? Because somebody don't know what a knockdown is? Yeah, that's a good excuse. We know what time it is. But the worst part about it is you have fans that pick the fighter over the sport. This is a good example right here. You cannot trust fans to judge a fight. This is why we can't get judges. That's why we can't get new judges. You can't even get people to agree on a fight after they win. That's why I had little suspicions here and there. I'm like, Bivol is only getting this kind of support because he beat Canelo. I think if Vitterbeer would have beat Canelo, there would have been room for him. So a lot of this stuff don't really confuse me at all. It don't confuse me at all. I see what time it is, man. I see what time it is. And people, a lot of people don't like what I say, but it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I think they figured that out by now. You can ignore somebody all day. That don't mean it's not going to happen, buddy. I told y'all Tank is capable of getting outboxed. You can hope that it ain't going to happen, but it happened. The fight was so close, y'all arguing about if a fight was a knockdown or something. If Tank won every round, you wouldn't have to talk about a knockdown. He'd be like, so what? He took a knee. Okay, it's a knockdown. Still won the fight. He won every round. But since you know he didn't win every round, you know what's crazy? I'm going to tell y'all something else too. It's funny how people don't act like they don't know how to score a fight, but they'll argue about a knockdown. And the only reason you're arguing about if it was a knockdown or not, because you know that's the part where if it did count, that means Roach would have won the fight. He said the knockdowns give me a UD. So the only reason most of these fans are even arguing about this, whether Tank won or lost, because if I was rooting for Tank in this fight, I would have said, man, Tank won the fight on the card. So I don't know what y'all talking about. Wasting my time. In 50 years, it's going to say that Tank Davis won. He had a draw. So he was happy about the draw anyway. I keep saying won because people acting like he won the fight. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of people acting like Tank won the fight. Just being honest. The way they've been talking about it, like since the fight happened, they talking like Tank won the fight. Like he literally won the fight on the cards. I keep forgetting that it was a draw at this point because, you know, if it's a draw, you just run the rematch back. That's it. But people are talking like, oh no, this shouldn't be a knockdown. They should overturn this. If they don't, there's no reason to have rules. If they don't overturn this, there's no reason to have rules in the rule book. The rule that they just put in the rule book recently. The instant replay rule they just initiated last year. If they don't use that rule, they need to do away with the whole system. This is going to expose right here, do they use boxing rules or not? They can drag their feet as long as they want to. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's a lot of guys out here right now that's like, man, I might not fight in New York no more. I might not fight in New York no more. Shout out to Devin Haney for actually fighting in New York again after getting cheated. People giving Ryan Garcia credit for fighting in New York. Devin Haney should be the one fighting, getting credit for fighting in New York. Lamont Roach, after the fight happened again and he had to fight in New York again, he should get credit. Because they're the ones taking the risk. You the ones that got cheated. But people support cheaters these days. And that's what I was mad about Tank about last year. I'm like, brother, you don't know it, but you just validated. You one of the biggest things in boxing, and you just validated some BS. You validated Ryan Garcia's performance. And now you come out to do something that's not even worse than that. And the whole world, everybody that was glad that you was happy supporting Ryan last year, they turned their back on you. And I told y'all, Tank got fake fans. That's why I'm a real Tank fan. I'm not even going in on Tank. Not really going in on Tank at all. Trust me. Y'all done seen me go in on people. You would know if I was going in on Tank. But in 20 years, people gonna realize, oh, that's what he was talking about, man. I'm tripping. I thought I was in my feelings. That's what Can't Face about. Superior boxer that everybody was talking about got outboxed by a little guy who they said is not an all-time great. Got outboxed by Usyk, but they say Usyk ain't an all-time great though. Well, guess what? Roach outboxed Tank. Y'all can't convince me that Roach walked this man down for 12 rounds, was countering everything. Production was getting higher and higher as the fight went on, and all of a sudden, you know, power punches is something that just overwhelmed him in this fight. He wasn't overwhelmed. He wasn't ready for the fight to be over. Highly skilled boxer. We have a lot of Lamont Roaches in America that need an opportunity. While people say American heavyweights is trash, it's been a campaign that's been going out where they've been talking about American boxing is finished and it's cooked and it's done. American heavyweights is trash. It's been a lot of those narratives going around the world. If we got guys like Lamont Roach walking around, trust me, American boxing is in full effect. As soon as it's, man, this reconnection thing they doing on this channel, on my OBS, it ain't did that in like a week. So now I be seeing they do that on purpose. Yeah, they be messing with my audio on purpose, man. People still gonna listen, so y'all can mess the audio all you want. But Lamont Roach, as far as everything he has going on, he shouldn't have to go through any. Even if he was suing somebody, who the hell cares? Do your job and quit lying. You can't tweet. Like, you know what's crazy? That same reporter couldn't sit up here and tweet Lamont Roach and say, "Hey man, are you suing anybody?" Couldn't send him a DM or nothing. But get his dumb self on the internet and goes out here and says the man suing somebody. Then Lamont Roach comes out and like, "Man, I ain't suing nobody. What you talking about? Try to I got my get back in the ring." That's why I said, man, rematches are destroying the sport of boxing. These A-side fighters have a close fight or they look sloppy. Now they got to have a rematch. Ain't nobody say Adrian Broner need to rematch McDonough. Ain't nobody sit up here and say these other fights need to be rematched. Lara and Canelo, that could have been ran back. Even Trout and Canelo could have been ran back. It's a lot of fights that could have been ran back. That was close. So the only difference between these fights that people are asking for rematches now is they got an overwhelming favorite in the mix. Between Usyk and Fury, Fury is the more popular guy. Between Bivol and Bitterbill, Bivol is the more popular guy. So you know who they're gonna roll with in certain fights. It's just from me knowing. The A side always gets opportunities more than everybody else. But Lamont Roach got a little brother who's about 2 or 3 fights in right now in his career. Probably more than that. He just had his debut last year. He ain't trying to be going through this crap with his little brother. He finna figure this out now. And I ain't finna be trying to figure it out when Lamont Roach's brother become a top boxer. Then we gonna be like, well, was that a knockdown? Or nah, he finna figure this out now. And he was calm, relaxed. He didn't complain and cry and scream like everybody else be doing after a fight, pouting, talking about they gonna retire. He took the draw like a man, went home, gave everybody their credit. Now you got reporters out here putting fake news out. So what y'all gonna say? What the internet got now? What Twitter got now? What Twitter talking about? Did they start a fake rumor again talking about somebody Lamont Roach wanna he trying to get the highlights taken down off of YouTube? Show you how dumb some of these people sound. When that went no highlights, all they showed was 2 knockdowns. And the post fight, the rest of the highlights, it's not really a highlight. Shortest highlight tape I ever seen on the zone. Definitely wasn't a highlight. That's like putting the Deontay Wilder fight up with Tyson Fury, just showing the 2 knockdowns against Fury, then showing the post fight. You people think I'm stupid, don't you? I know what the hell y'all was trying to do. Y'all was trying to humiliate that guy. I have never been a fan of people trying to humiliate somebody when it's undeserving. Never been a fan of that. Different kind of person out here. That's why I said there's a lot of people out here that's very evil, man. Boxing shows you that. That's the good thing I like about boxing. You can't really see how personal some people are because, in NBA, it's a mix. They got white guys, black guys. In the NFL, a lot of skilled players are black. Then you got quarterbacks that's white, black quarterbacks, white tight ends. But in boxing, you can have the same thing happen to a white guy, black guy, Mexican guy, Asian guy. But if a fan knows this and they sit up here and say, oh no, I'm not concerned about a guy cheating and taking PEDs. Then they turn to Tank, lost that fight. Taking a knee in a fight ain't worse than taking PEDs and almost It's not worse than that. That's why I say this situation has a lot of layers to it. I'm glad it does. Cause I see now the real boxing fans are basically standing up. A lot of the boxers and champions are stepping up. Man, even Tank Friend said it was a draw. Even Tank Homeboy said the fight was a draw. So if it was a knockdown, what you think? If Tank Homeboy said it was a draw, he ain't say, nah, I think Tank won that. He said it was a draw. And that's Tank Homeboy. So what that tell you? Ryan Garcia said he lost. Pitbull said he lost. Shakur said he lost. Terrence Crawford said he lost. So yeah, man, just get that guy Roach, get Lamont Roach his credit, man. Yeah, this is crazy. But what people are gonna find out eventually is it's a lot of picking going on. That has to get fixed immediately. If not, the integrity of the sport is gone. That's why I didn't say too much about the knee, man. I'll bring it up a little bit, but as y'all can see, I ain't really too much concerned about it. Because I know why it happened and everything. I know why. Most people know why. They don't make these kind of mistakes all the time. We know why that mistake happened. We know why that happened in the fight. We know exactly why it happened. Yeah, they tripping today. They tripping on me hard. But yeah, a lot of people don't know how to score fights, man. Until they get fixed, it's always gonna be a problem. Always. The only thing that can fix boxing right now is the next generation of kids that's coming up. That's the only thing that can help boxing at this point. That's the only thing that can help boxing at this point. Because right now, as you can see, this generation is cooked. Cooked. This is the type of stuff that had these kids calling you old when you talking about a fight like this. Like, man, y'all hear these old people talking about a knockdown? They're like, man, y'all hear these guys? These guys arguing about a knockdown. Then they not trying to give Lamont Roach credit. I don't know if I want to do that boxing thing. That's a lot of things that people don't realize. A lot of people will be in between decisions of, do I want to continue to box or do I not? And seeing a guy like Lamont Roach perform at a high level and win a fight like this would encourage a lot of people to box. A lot of people act like they were just super motivated after Ryan Garcia won against Devin Haney. For some reason, the guy who was making all the antics, saying that he was going to die and everything else, for some reason, the guy who ended up cheating, that's the guy who motivated everybody. I'm like, okay. But as I've seen recently, most of Ryan Garcia's fans now, they're not supporting Tank Davis. That man went out there on a limb for nothing. Nothing. And now they start now what people are gonna realize is, man, we just wanted to see the black guy lose. That's why we wanted Haney to lose so bad. We just wanted the black guy to lose. That's it. That's why Tank, in this situation, he's not gonna get no kind of, on the mainstream as far as boxing industry, he's not gonna get that kind of favoritism and support, because they're okay with him supporting Ryan Garcia, but they're not gonna support him. And I'm making a good example right now. This is the most unbiased take I can ever make. Taking a knee in a fight is not the same as taking PEDs and jumping in the ring. There's only one that can really, you're supposed to go to jail behind. But when they support the guy who cheats more than the guy who's actually trying to put on a real show, that's what happens, man, when you say everybody's trash. Now you got a whole bunch of people around to figure out if you trash. You know, it's like, man, that guy trash. He 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 trash. And then all of a sudden, when you look trash one day, what you think everybody gonna say? They gonna remind you, hey, man, you been saying everybody trash. Now you got people out here, Ryan Garcia knocked out Roach in 6 rounds. Why? Because Tank got them believing that Ryan Garcia is at that level. He got them believing that Ryan can do stuff I can't do. Knock out Lamont Roach, Ryan can. And Ryan's fans are like, yeah, Ryan's better than Tank. He would have knocked out Roach. Nobody cares that Ryan Garcia lost to Tank. I'm trying to tell y'all that. Nobody cares that Ryan Garcia lost to Tank, man. Matter of fact, by the time it was the end of the week, nobody was even talking about it. By the time Devin Haney was fighting Lomachenko, nobody was even speaking about Ryan Garcia versus Tank again. Only thing they said after that fight was, oh man, I'm glad that those two guys came together and was able to make the biggest fight in boxing. They did that for the fans. Everybody greasing these dudes up, slobbing them down. Oh, they did this for the fans, and I'm so glad, I'm happy. Dude quit in the 7th round. He quit in the 7th round. Dude quit earlier than Daniel Dubois did. And Daniel Dubois was a guy who was fighting all kind of tough fights up until that point. Still taking tough fights. Nobody hesitated to call him a quitter. Yeah, man, if I was a star boxer right now, I would fight everybody except Tank. Not because I'm ducking or I'm scared. Bro, I'm not finna be arguing about if someone was a knockdown or not. If people like him that much, I just ain't getting in the ring with him. It's just that simple. And it's gonna be a lot of boxers in the back of their mind like, man, I ain't jumping in the ring with him again. And if you Pitbull, yeah, you jump in the ring if you get that money. But Pitbull looking at it like, even Pitbull thought Roach won the fight. And if I'm Pitbull, I'm trying to be nice as possible to Tank so I can get this rematch. But Pitbull like, man, forget that rematch. He lost. I should be fighting Roach next. Other fighters don't get the chance to say they had an off night. When Canelo lost to Bivol, ain't nobody say he had an off night. The excuses are extreme. Even outside the knockdown. The excuses outside the knockdown is extreme. He was off. He had an off night. He had personal issues going on. He wasn't focused. What does that have to do with Atlanta? Now, y'all are talking like somebody who was expecting Tank to get a guaranteed knockout. You have people out here that's talking about Tank Davis not being focused and having an off night because he went 12 rounds. But then they'll say, oh, y'all think Tank lost because he didn't get the knockout. No, you're talking like Tank had an off night because he didn't get a knockout. I think you don't understand what you're actually talking about or what you're trying to say. What you're trying to say is bad right now. And I'll repeat that again so people can understand what I'm saying. People are saying that we are only saying that Tank had a bad fight performance or whatever because he didn't get the knockout. But they saying Tank had an off night because he didn't get a knockout. Haven't y'all noticed every time Tank goes 12 rounds, it's an excuse? First it was the wrist, now it's hair grease. What does that have to do with Lamont Roach and him needing to get a knockdown according to the rules? Are boxing rules even needed anymore? Are we wasting our time having rules in boxing? Are we wasting our time having judges? Are we wasting our time having A side, B side? Is that all a waste of time? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is real talk. If they were doing this to build the sport up all these years to say, hey man, we just doing this to build the sport up. This is real talk. If they were doing this to build the sport up and they don't want Tank to lose his star power, he's a guy who brings a lot of money in boxing and everything. If that's the case, then you would have been a lot more nicer to other boxers who are trying to fight the best. It's other guys who've been carrying the sport of boxing before Turkey Al-Sheikh showed up, and they're not the face of boxing. See, the guys y'all gotta ask to fight certain people is the faces of boxing. You ain't gotta ask guys who don't have a name or you feel like it's a nobody. You don't have to ask those guys to fight the best. They already been doing it. You ain't gotta ask Lamont Roach to fight the best. He's doing it. So you gotta look at it that way. But y'all have not been nice to the people who've been carrying boxing before Turkey Al-Sheikh came along. Definitely have not. Actually have talked trash about him.